Hello and welcome to this multiplayer race for China. Excuse me. It's the real TomTom on Twitter and here on YouTube. Still nursing a bit of that cold, but not feeling too bad, thanks for asking. So it's China, as I say. We have quite a large library, about 18 people, and as you'll see, the qualifying turns out to be wet, which is fun. Now, the bit I don't notice, obviously not doing much multiplayer yet, is you have a time remaining section, as you can see at the top right there. So I'm, looking at the settings, what I want to change, not that I know anything about them, fiddling around, seeing what it might be, and then it just times out and obviously defaults to something. So I have no idea what my setup was for this. It's one of those bits where actually you probably need to sort of practice first. So what I did with the qualifying, because there's obviously about 20 minutes of this video, I've sped it up, it's super fast, you can see that it's raining. The race, however, does remain dry. Which doesn't do me any good. Actually, I probably would have maybe have done a bit better in the wet, but you never can tell. I'm sure there'll be wet races, and we'll see how they go. Just a heads up for next week, I will be missing one of the races. I'm going away for Christmas, but they're doing their last race on the 22nd of December. So I won't be in the next race of the season, so we're going to have a little bit off for Christmas, and then I'll be back doing them when I return back from France. Lucky me, eh? So there we go, everyone on a wet weather. I get 13th with a 2-minute, nearly dead, 5 seconds behind the leader. I was pretty impressed with that, but as you can see, it comes now to the race. And the same thing again is there's even less time with the time remaining for this. I'm trying to work out what strategy to do. I'm thinking of possibly doing like the soft, also the super soft, and then changing how much fuel I have, and it goes before I even get to start. So I start on the basic strategy they put you on. This time I do a little bit better with getting the clutch going. Still don't remember which button to let go of. I don't know what's wrong with me, I really don't. Luckily I'm not the cause of any collisions, and at the moment actually I don't think anyone does. I think everyone's pretty tidy through this. I keep it out wide just to make sure I don't sort of cut in on anyone that might be taking the line. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But as you can see, I drop pretty much down the places. I take the grass again, trying not to take anyone off, but everyone's giving everyone plenty of room, and it's pretty clean first sort of lap, first out of the gate bit. So here we go, down the corner, take the line, the guy comes up my inside. That's about the worst I have. I've been sort of a bit touched off. It was, I'd call that a racing incident. It was in his side, no damage sustained, just a kind of a bit tight. So it's now trying to fight back for the place. So I bring up, as always, my tyre wear, because I'm very heavy on tyres. This is one of the things I think I definitely need to practice with, is setups for race long stints where I'm not going to be destroying my tyres, because all these sort of settings I've used in the past, people doing hot laps. So essentially it's qualifying sort of type setups. That was a bit of a dodgy move. I apologise. I give him the space back, give him the place back, and yeah. Now you can see at the moment the on-air bit. There's sort of comments going. I have my laptop open, but I'm not able to comment while driving. Unsurprisingly, I have enough trouble driving, let alone commenting. But thanks to the few people that were watching the stream for this particular race, it is appreciated. So Birch takes me here. I come down the corner. Usually on the hairpin I'm not great, and this last corner I usually overcook it, but I actually just like that. But luckily this time I keep it, and I've got the speed off the corner to take back 14th place. That's not where I stay. So you can see there that Music makes a bit of a mistake. I'm now fighting back for 13th. He again goes off a little bit. I'm doing my best not to take him out or get taken out myself. But what I do is, I'm not sure where yeah, there we go. But I outbrake myself, a bit of a late move. Again, I think I hand the place back because it was a bit of a charge. And then again, Birch also takes me again. So I'm now back down. Oh, and there you go. Dino comes through. So I'm now down to 16th place. I get touched off there by Dino. Again, maybe a racing incident. It was a... you tell me in the comments what you think. So Wixie comes through, putting me down to 17th now. So I have a lot of driving to do. I think I need to start pushing. Bit of clean air. I say clean, it's cleanish, and so I can now start to really sort of just take my own race and see if I can get into the points. I don't. Just to spoil it, to save you the next 18 minutes of your life, I don't make the points, but it's a good race. So a little bit further on, because not much happens. I'm just sat on my own, still down there in 14th. But coming back on music, who's in 13th now. I think I took some people when they did pit stops, so that's why I made up some of the places. So up to music, trying to take the quickest line I can. Obviously everyone is, but I should now have DRS for this particular lap. Keep it tidy through the corner. Get into the slipstream. Here comes the DRS zone. DRS is active, and my tyres aren't doing too badly. Sort of 34%. I wear my front tyres a lot quicker. Again, a little bit of a aggressive dive. Maybe I'm doing them a little bit harsh. Again, let me know in the comments if you think my braking and moves are a bit too aggressive. But again, I get a better one onto the start finish straight, which is actually where I take him completely legally and very, very smoothly. And so now it's this corner here. This is a very long right-hander, as you can obviously see and have seen for the last few laps. It's knowing how much pressure you can take and how much you can sort of accelerate and kind of keep yourself not from going too wide onto the marbles. Again, I'm not very good at the racing line bit. So here we go, a couple of laps later because not much happening. Dino is behind me. I'm still in 13th place, but my tyres are now absolutely at the point of no return. So I think I decide it's definitely time to pit on this lap. And it's then knowing what to do, because the strategy I think it had given me was soft, and medium, and I think I chose the balanced approach. I've only got one set of mediums, and quite a few sets of super soft. And again, I know I'm not the fastest person here for this, so it's kind of like, do I push the medium? So I think I'm going to try and do some super softs in there. It asked me to confirm a strategy change, and again, it's literally to come in a lap earlier, I think. So I decided that I didn't want to come in because, again, as you can see, I'm even under pressure. It isn't the problem. Dino's on fresher tyres. I just can't keep it on the track that well. So I do think to come in, and I do think what I need to do to get the best out of it. So I go to mediums rather than to the softs. I think I'll take the longer middle stint, and then I'll use up some super softs. Now, I end up doing one more pit stop than kind of everyone else who's done 3, and there are a few people who've done 2 stops, so probably a soft and a good stint on the medium. I really, like I say, do churn my tyres. Now, from the last race, when I first came in, I got a pit lane penalty, so I am very conscious of keeping the speed under 50 miles an hour. I didn't even notice that it says 50 miles an hour at the top. I was trying to work out where to go. Yes, I am that stupid. So there you go, that's the pit stop. Nothing special happens. I'm out on the mediums. Still down now in 14th place. And it's time to see what I can do. Again, cold tyres, bad driving, any excuse you can for me to do this. So it's further on into the lap, 11% wear on the fronts. My rears again 9-8%, not too bad. Lap 10 of 28. So the safety car gets deployed. I think someone left the lobby, which is why it's come in. So this is where I think this is where I throw myself of what to do. I'm on 12% wear, but I don't want to sort of sit under the safety car with too much kind of going on. So I wanted to change to another medium to get fresh ones, but obviously you'll notice I couldn't see these. I slow myself down getting into the pits, and I go to the softs, I think it is at this time. Yeah, I'm changing to the soft tyre, so we come out. I don't lose a place. I do get lapped, though, by the leaders. Did I make the right call? Because I just put new mediums on. Should I have stayed on those, stayed out, and tried to see what happened? But I wasn't sure where the best thing to go was. I changed my fuel mix down to low. It's because I don't want to burn through too much fuel. I want to be able to, because I know I'm going to go in a minute, because I won't make it to the end on these. I know I'm going to use super softs, although I could have put the old mediums back on. And again, what I should have done is stayed on the mediums and then gone into just the soft, rather than using any super softs. The reason I've cut all that out is because it was just a lot of going round and round behind the safety car, nothing exciting. The bit I've cut back to now is where the computer's kind of essentially rev limiting you, and then it's not, and it's just about here, and I will almost go right into the back of him. So Metrobus, you were lucky I didn't take you out. I wasn't intending to, I just didn't realise that it was going to give me control when it did. So it's kind of annoying, especially in a multiplayer lobby where you're going to ruin someone else's race. I've now got a lot of blue flags telling me to keep out the way of everyone else. So again, it's that trying to stay offline, not get in anyone's way, give people the space that they need to do their race, because they're obviously much, much quicker than I am. So 11% tyre wear behind the safety car. I was pretty happy with that. I didn't burn through them too quickly. So now again, trying to keep out the way of all these people. And the trouble is, it's not knowing who you're racing. So there's my teammate in 5th position at the moment. He's doing really rather well, so he's the guy that's scoring the championship points for us at the moment, and then there's me here down in 13th place. It's knowing when to get out of the way, knowing what part of the line to take. So I think we're going to scooch on a bit more into the race. I've worn out the tyres, I think, to as much as they're going to take, so 53% on these softs. Again, let me know in the comments, could I have pushed another lap or two of these? I know you didn't sort of see me driving these particular set, but you know, what do you find your limit for the soft tyres is in kind of these hard wearing conditions? Could I have maybe sort of got to 70-80%? Obviously handling goes, and I thought if I'm going to go into super softs, I'm going to need to do it now. There was one point on the super softs I thought maybe I could take them to the end. 10 laps on the super softs was not going to happen, and what I do decide is to change again a little bit later on. So still retaining my 13th place, another blue flag to tell me another car is coming through. I don't think I do it yet. I think I try and keep out the way out of this next corner, and again I keep over to the left off the line, and I go to let them through, but again, that's what happens. They don't take me here, so I stay as wide as I can out through the corner. It's frustrating. You're trying to sort of keep your race because that's what you want to do, but you also don't want to impede anyone. Now, while we were playing this yesterday, someone said that Birch, the guy in front of me, Batesy, who's just in front of me, was being computer controlled, but no one knew why. But I don't know, so I'm not sure whether this is an AI car driving for him or whether it's him driving himself. He goes off a few times, but is still quicker than me, but it's like trying to catch that place back, because obviously I want to try and get into the points. 11th is obviously just outside the points, but to get to 10th I'm going to really need to get past him. It's close, but I don't quite do it. I'm not fast enough to take him. I think what I'm gonna, if I get a point this year in this multiplayer championship, I think it'll be possibly in like a wet race where there's a few safety cars, where I maybe, if you're going to help me in the comments, maybe tell me the best strategy for sort of the wet races. How many pit stops should I be aiming for with the tyre wear that I have? Maybe I'm doing too many pit stops. Should I make them last longer? Maybe I need to kind of discount the sort of fast tyre and only go for like mediums and softs. Maybe I need to go for the harder compounds, because actually I'm not fast enough to make sort of super softs work in any kind of real way. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do I need to sort of do conservative strategies, maybe have a couple of sets of mediums on hand and just try and do the longest stints I can? So I don't catch him. So we go on a bit here to my 40% now tyre wear. It's 22 laps done, 28 lap race. I'm thinking I could try and stay out on these super softs, but I think if I'm going to make this work, if I'm going to commit to going to super softs, I'm going to need to pit and put in another set of softs so I don't burn through them this set, and I have to pit again essentially where I'm driving really, really bad tyres. So I make the call to come in, change these 40% used tyres for some other super softs, still in 13th place. As my computer puts itself to sleep, I can't see anything. It's useful. Oh, it really is useful. Here we go. Coming back. There we go. Out the pits. You haven't missed. I didn't miss much. I get a warning for crossing the pit line. Luckily, I get no penalty for that, though. But I think, from what I'm reading there, I'm about 1:46 behind Birch, and Music is about a minute behind me. I don't lap him, but I do believe that's where I am in position. So I'm a solid 13th here. I had the pit stop in hand, but I obviously was never going to quite catch up to 12th anyway to get that position. So I'm now on new tyres, and start pushing just to see what will happen, to see where I can go. I think more now to see if I can get myself beat my own best time. I'm not really racing anyone. It's just a lot of me going around the track, which is essentially what Formula 1 is anyway. But I'm at 1:43 at the moment. Can I get a better lap time than this? And with that kind of split, the answer is no. That's obviously because I've just done the pits. So I keep going, pushing to see if I can get any closer, see what will happen. But essentially, I finish now in 13th place, which I think, is not too bad. There's obviously, there was about 18 people started, only 14 finished the race. So I am sort of one from last, which again, I've no problem being last. I've got no problem finishing at the bottom of the pack. I know my driving is not the best. And what I think I'm going to have to start trying to do is a little bit of practice of using sort of manual gears and trying to get myself a little bit quicker, using less assists than I am at the moment. At the moment, I'm just really sort of refamiliarising myself with the game, refamiliarising myself with how this goes. So the fastest lap there was a 1:38. I've got no hope really of beating that time, but I think I'll give it a go. I don't. So what we're going to do is go straight now to the last bit of the race. Obviously, I am in front of me is not 12th, just so you know. It is again another car that has lapped me. So what I'm doing then is coming in to finish 2 laps behind the race leaders. They have finished. There you go. Metrobus has just finished the race. So now I am just essentially coming through to place at 13th, which, as I say, I think is pretty good for someone that isn't that fast. I'm not quite sure what I can do to get faster, and there you go, my teammate gets 4th, so another good load of points for the championship for us as McLaren. But I am obviously right down there, as you can see, in 13th place. You can see there the sort of 15th down did not finish, and then all the way up to first, who got 1:38.05 for the fastest lap in number 2. And so in the championship, you can see that Keith there is currently 5th. I don't think I moved to... do I move to constructors? Maybe I do. No, I don't. So that was it. Thank you very much for watching this particular video. Please do subscribe if you like what I'm doing. Any feedback is helpful. It'd be nice to know what you think and anything I could do to improve. And yeah, I won't be, like I say, in the next race. So I'll be missing one multiplayer. I'll be back on it after the Christmas break into the new year. Thanks again for watching, and a happy Christmas.